Well, one can only hope that this helps with a lot of my issues going on. I have a new carburetor from Amazon. It was something like $43. It comes with a little fuel filter, a fuel shutoff, an air filter that I don't need. It comes with top and bottom gaskets and a little cool cleaning kit. That's kind of cool, I guess. Many times with these offshore carburetors, the linkages don't line up the same, but our choke does, as does our throttle down below. So it's pretty much a perfect representation. I do see that it allows a little bit more airflow when the choke is closed. I also see that this has a flat spot here in the throttle body where this one does not. I don't think that's actually going to matter because the carburetor throat is about the same diameter on the inside. The vacuum line here goes down below to the carburetor body now. I don't think that's going to matter either. It's probably just a different design, newer update, something like that. I think we are probably in luck. If anything, I also have thought about maybe swapping these tops because my number 10 screws that fit in here or here or here, you guessed it, or here, do not fit into here. They bind up. I don't want to push it too hard. I could either chase these holes or just see if I can swap that whole top over. It looks pretty much the same. The service manual here says that this entire intake needs to be pulled in order to remove the carburetor, but I don't always listen to instructions. I was able to just remove the screw here for this throttle lever and the screws here for the brackets on this throttle assembly, and I believe that I'll be able to twist this screw out getting it back in may be troublesome, but the use of a magnet might be necessary. We'll see. Now this side is pretty open and exposed. I just need to twist it out, and I think I'll be able to pop that carb off and assess the situation on the throttle linkage and get the new one back on. You can also see that I took the top of this choke hat off, and I did not realize that's where the float resides as well. So hopefully I can use the top of this carburetor. The threads on the new one are a little bit different. All right. So many times what I have found with these overseas aftermarket carburetors is that sizing is a little bit different. This says that it was rated for 16 to 21 horsepower. And generally speaking, with the Kohler replacements, I noticed that these are not as big of a venturi, as big of a carb throat, if you will. And so on the smaller rating of the horsepowers, it generally doesn't really affect as much. But I wanted to measure this just for reference. So we're at inch and 60 thousandths. Inch and 64 thousandths. Honestly, I don't think 4 thousandths of an inch is going to matter. Remember, we've done sizing and we've done all this rating and this and that, and this engine is still twice the horsepower that the tractor was built for. So if 4/1000ths of an inch on this intake makes a difference, I really don't think the butt dyno is going to be able to feel it. I did point out too that there's a flat spot inside this throat here that is not present on this one. However, I don't think I realized this choke opening at the bottom is circular, and this is got a flat spot on it. So this is actually quite smaller. This is actually a bigger one. Now if we compare tops here, you can see that I modified this a little bit with a grinder to fit my intake. Once I fit everything up and started welding on it, it moved enough that it was interfering here and lifting the surface. So I'd like to be able to use this. Additionally, I'm using this hole and this hole to mount my air cleaner. These threads are a different thread pitch than here. Now, if I have to go get 2 new screws, that won't be the end of the world. But I'd like to see if I can still use this one. For the time being, I have a new gasket that came with this carburetor kit. I need to use a new razor blade and scrape this clean. I'm going to fire up the vacuum so no shavings get down in the engine. So I'm just going to clean that nice and flat. New gasket, new carburetor. I had an old hot rodder teach me this trick one time, back when he was doing drag racing and he was jetting his carb and doing a lot of work, taking the carb off, putting the carb back on. If you put a little film of grease there, then your gasket won't get stuck. Do the same thing on this side. That's going to work out real nice. I'm going to wipe the excess off right around that throat. I don't think it matters. Let's see if we can get this put on in one shot. Guess what I just did? Just put my finger all over that greased up carburetor. I guess I understand why they would suggest removing this intake, but I think I can still make it. Ah. Ooh, I might have got it. I might have got a thread. There we go. One screw out of 2 ain't bad, right? I believe it's a possibility that my whole bolt pattern is a little off. Just a little bit. I'm a little tight. I probably should have measured that before. That's okay. All right, another hot rod trick is use a little grease on a drill bit, and that should help to hold on to the shavings All right, you can see a lot of shavings there. Got picked up by the drill bit. The rest of them are right there. I think that'll be enough clearance. This is kind of cool. This came with the new carburetor. I'm guessing this must be why. Actually, I think this is to clean out passages and do little rebuilds and this and that. But I can use it to clean my hole out. I like that. Let's see if it was enough now. Oh yeah. Oh no. I forgot about this. Huh. It's quite ironic. I was reading through Jeremy's build thread on Red Square the other day, and he is the one that started this project. And I believe he mentioned when he was putting this engine in and trimming the hood to fit the shroud, he said it's kind of funny that every modification requires 3 more to make it work. This fuel pump design went from a 3-screw to a 4-screw fuel pump, and the vacuum nipple used to be out here. Now it's tucked back in a little further. So, of course, the throttle bracket was in the way. I had to take this... Yes, Rooster, it's good morning. So I had to take the carburetor back off once more after I got this linkage on, and then give this bracket a good tweak job so that way I could make this vacuum nipple actually fit. We are bolted down. We are in place. I can hook that back up, put a little zip tie action on there, and trim it up. All right. Before I tore all this apart, I mentioned the other day that there was a spring that was loose. I hooked that spring back up, and I do believe I'm in a position where I can put my few screws back in and maybe check for operation. Now, I am not a carburetor scientist. I know that air goes in, it sucks fuel through, it makes things go bang, and we have awesome exhaust noise and all that. But I see that my internals here are, in fact, a little bit different. Okay, I have an emulsifier tube on the new one, but I don't on the old one. I have a few different ports here than I have on the old one. And basically what I'm proving to myself is that I can't swap this carb hat for this carb hat. I have to keep the new one with the new one. Not the end of the world. All right, it is time to see if this thing will pump some fuel through and make some good noise. Whoa, I see fuel, maybe too much. We have a timing problem. So the last time that this ran was me bottle feeding it, and it did start to sputter and backfire a little bit. Look at me, I found a sheared key. I don't think that's supposed to be in 2 pieces. Do you? I also found, since I have this apart, some good news, maybe. I found another Briggs twin vertical shaft engine that I did not realize I had out back. I also have the hiccups pretty bad. Well, for your excitement and for mine, I'm gonna pop this off on camera so we can enjoy, hopefully, finding the correct stator together. Oh! It's 4 bolts. It looks very close. I'm gonna try to see if it'll fit. Wouldn't that be sweet? Now it looks correct. I will give myself that. It has a built-in regulator rectifier, so then I will just have one charge wire, which I like. Also, I'm going to verify my magnet count is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It just looks so much different being not packed full of crap. Check that out. That is great news. These little stands fit in the holes and everything. I can just tuck that wire up behind this shroud, mount my regulator rectifier somewhere, and I have charging again. I know this is quite crude, and I'll probably regret doing this, but I have to know.